Yo, what's happening, peeps? This is Boxing 2020. Today we're going to be asking about the partnership or potential partnership between Andy Ruiz Jr. and Teddy Atlas. What do you guys think of this as a pairing? Nothing's been set in stone yet, but a little while back I saw Teddy Atlas on his podcast saying that he would be interested in maybe teaching some things to Andy Ruiz. I didn't hear anything back until recently, where I think I read on one of the forums that Andy Ruiz might be interested in trying that out. Obviously, he parted ways with his last trainer, Manny Robles, after the defeat to AJ. My thoughts on this is that would be an excellent pairing. Obviously, Ruiz is one of the shorter guys in the division. Teddy Atlas comes from the school of Cus D'Amato, the great trainer and philosopher who's responsible for the peekaboo style, which brought men such as Jose Torres, Floyd Patterson and Mike Tyson to world championship level. I think physically that's an amazing style. It's also a style that's dying out. The two guys who really knew that style inside out, or should I say the three guys that really could teach people that style, would be Tyson himself, who seems to not have any interest in training boxers, training fighters. You did have Kevin Rooney, who unfortunately I hear is dealing with dementia and isn't in the best physical state at the moment. And then of course you have Teddy Atlas himself, who was Tyson's original trainer as a young boy. This for me is exactly what Andy Ruiz needs. Obviously he's already got a high level of skill. I rate his defense, I rate his offense, and his punching power is obviously great, as Lennox Lewis would attest to. I just think in the modern era, everyone gets caught up in these guys being bigger guys. You know, they say, oh, they're so great, you know, the people of the past wouldn't cope. I'm not a believer of that. Size doesn't make greatness in itself, you know. And for what you add with size, you take away in certain other areas such as speed, maneuverability, explosiveness sometimes. I think Andy Ruiz is one of the most explosive guys in the division at the moment. Obviously he has a shorter reach. He's normally, with the shorter guy, they say they punch around in arcs, but as we saw with the AJ fight, you know, he lands a good straight punch too, gets on the offensive, has a hell of a chin. He caught some really big punches there and just came back like it was nothing. So I think Andy Ruiz has the ingredients, and what he lacks is the discipline. That's where Teddy Atlas comes in. I think Atlas is the type of guy, he is not going to let you slack. It'll make or break you. So as long as he can put up with the sort of intensity of Teddy Atlas and really focus and dedicate himself again, I think that could be an amazing move for him. Imagine Andy Ruiz with a little bit of Cus D'Amato peekaboo style to him, you know, that'd be incredible. I think a lot of the bigger guys these days, they struggle with shorter fighters. As I said, people like to overlook them and say that they're too small. It's simply not true. I can't remember after what fight it was, but I even remember Tyson Fury himself saying, oh, you know, I don't want to fight little short guys. You know what I mean? Basically saying that they're a pain, they're hard work, and he said that he'd rather fight a big, slow, ugly heavyweight. And of course, because that's if you think about it, these guys are only really fighting guys their own size. Everything's relative these days. Whereas in the 70s and 80s, you might have the average size maybe being between 6'2", 6'3". You know, that was barring people like Joe Frazier, Iron Mike Tyson. Most guys were relatively matched, and the same goes today. A lot of guys ranging between 6'4" and 6'7". Obviously you have Tyson Fury who's 6'9", but they're all relatively the same size. But they seem to have trouble with the shorter guy who can work his way in, work inside with big shots, big hooks to the body. And I've always preferred the smaller heavyweights, the more explosive guys, even the smallest guys like Floyd Patterson. I think whereas Patterson's durability might let him down today, his explosiveness and his speed was just amazing to watch. I really enjoy watching him. You're basically looking at a guy who today would maybe be a light heavyweight, and maybe even in his earlier days a super middleweight. So, but the punch power, the accuracy, the tenacity, and the explosiveness was just amazing. I'm not saying Andrew Ruiz is going to be that, but he's definitely explosive enough to cause problems for a lot of the guys in the division today. And also with the finesse of the peekaboo style, the Customato style, I just think that's just going to elevate him and his capabilities even more. So, as I discussed, Teddy Atlas isn't the type of guy to slack around or be a yes man to anybody. And I'd be really excited to see what these two could come up with. Obviously we're waiting to hear more to see if that's actually going to take place, if they actually are going to put their heads together and get to work. But I'm hoping that they do, and I'm excited to see what happens if they do. So let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. This is Boxing 2020 and I'm out. Peace.